Hi guys. Okay, so it's time for my weekly update, my weight loss update. So, update this week, I didn't lose any weight. Why, might you ask? Because I wasn't really concentrating on that. And why wasn't I concentrating on it? Well, I don't know if you can see how swollen this is now. It was so much worse yesterday. It was like so hugely swollen yesterday. Basically, so my last video, which I just uploaded, even though it was last week because I'm lazy. But I said that I had broken several teeth, which is true. So I broke. Okay, well, let me just go over this. So when I was a kid, like, nobody cared about me. I mean, like, my parents loved me, but they didn't take care of me, right? I remember for a long time, I didn't even have a toothbrush. I don't think there's even toothpaste provided. And there definitely wasn't floss provided. Nobody taught me about flossing. There's anybody there to teach me about brushing my teeth for 2 minutes a day. Like, nobody made sure that I brushed my teeth. Like, nothing like that. So as a result, I didn't do it. Obviously, I was a kid. I didn't want to do that. I probably went like years without brushing my teeth, maybe. Then I was like 10. I think I was like 10. I started going to the dentist like every 6 months, probably out of necessity. I don't really remember. Um, my brothers also had a lot of teeth problems because no one taught us how to take care of our teeth. No one made, like right now, like every morning and every night, like I'm with my son in there brushing our teeth, like helping him brush his teeth if he needs it, flossing, like making sure he rinses. But no one was there doing that for me or my brothers. But even when we went to the dentist, like every 6 months or every year, whatever it was, like still, I don't know what was making me brush my teeth. I don't think I was really doing it that much. At that point, I did have a toothbrush because the dentist gave me a toothbrush. And I mean, there was toothpaste in the house because I remember my dad brushing his teeth at that point, but I don't know. Anyway, so moral of the story, didn't take care of my teeth. Then as a young adult, so once I was like older, like 14, I did start brushing my teeth every day, but I didn't floss yet because I thought that was dumb. Like I thought it wasn't really necessary. It is necessary. If you're young or watching this, floss your dang teeth, brush your teeth twice a day, 2 minutes, and use a fluoride rinse after. And don't eat or drink anything for 30 minutes after the fluoride rinse. I'm not kidding. Like, do it. But anyways, so then as a young adult, so when I was 20, yeah, so when I was 22 to 24, I was drinking a lot. There were tons of time, I'm an alcoholic. There was tons of times that I would pass out, hadn't brushed my teeth. I was also using tobacco, so that's another thing. So from the time I was 15 to 17, I smoked cigarettes. Then at 17, I quit cigarettes, started dipping snus, like Camel snus pouches. Gross. But I did that until I was 25, I think. I think I was 25 when I quit. I might have been 26. Yeah, I was 26 actually. It was March of 2021 was the last time I had any. But anyway, so what had happened was my teeth broke. So I have a tooth down here that broke, and then a tooth on the top that broke, and then a tooth down here that broke. And this is all like in the last couple months. All my teeth just started breaking. Another thing that I would do is I would eat, like, whenever I get hard candy, I used to, like, immediately chew it instead of, like, just sucking on it. And I'm sure that didn't help. And, what else? Just tons of not taking care of teeth things. Also, like, don't go to the dentist very often up until recently because I didn't like the dentist. I was scared of the dentist because when I was a kid, every time I went to the dentist, I had to get fillings, which sucked. And I was like 10, 11, 12-year-old getting those shots in your mouth, like that sucks. It made me scared of the dentist. Especially since our dentist wasn't the nicest guy. Like, I don't know. He was, but he wasn't. But anyway, so I already had to get two teeth pulled up here. Like, I don't know, you can see this is my last tooth, the canine. The two molars behind that I already got pulled. But last week, so I had another molar, it had a giant filling in it, and it cracked. Like the tooth broke. So then the filling was real loose. And when I was flossing one day, like I flossed, and like 20 minutes later, I was just sitting here, and then the filling just fell out. And that was like last Friday, I think. Today's Wednesday. So it was like last Friday. Filling just fell out. I'm like, oh crap. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I didn't just call the dentist right then. But then so it was fine Saturday. It was all right Sunday. Sunday night it started hurting pretty significantly. But I was treating it with ice, and I don't have dental insurance. So I was trying to get a hold of this place that does like, it's like dental students. They do free care. But I wasn't able to get a hold of them. So all day Monday I waited, didn't get a hold of them. And Monday night, oh my gosh, it became excruciating and my whole face swelled up. Like literally, like it was like out to like here probably. Like my whole face just swelled up. And and as you can see, it's still very swollen and very tender right here. That's because the filling fell out, then all that was exposed, it got infected. So then there's infection all up in here. So then my regular dentist couldn't get me in. So yesterday was Tuesday. Called my regular dentist Tuesday at 8 a.m. They couldn't get me in until Thursday at 5. And I could not wait until Thursday at 5. So I called the dentist office that's like right next to my dentist, and they were able to get me in Tuesday at 4, okay? Which is great. So I literally spent all day yesterday just pacing back and forth. The pain was so severe. I was taking like the max Tylenol and max ibuprofen every like Tylenol, and then 4 hours later ibuprofen, then 4 hours later Tylenol again, 4 hours later ibuprofen. So I was taking Tylenol every 8 hours, max dose, and then ibuprofen every 8 hours, max dose. And still it like wasn't working. I was using an ice pack, but it didn't work. I tried clove oil on Sunday night. Yeah, so Sunday night I actually did the clove oil, and it worked for a couple hours, but once it wore off, it was so excruciatingly painful that I didn't use that again. So I go in again. I've never been to this dentist's office before, brand new to me. They were the worst. I will never. Oh my gosh. Like, I think I should report that dentist. I don't know who to report him to. I need to look that up. I think I should really report him because it was just literally just the most awful experience of my life. So, first of all, the dentist office itself was like dirty. Like, you go back and there's like, I guess, it's typical for a lot of dentist offices where there's more like cubicles that they've set up with like the different places where the chairs are like separated with furniture, which is fine, whatever. But I witnessed like, so when she went to take my x-ray, she opened up this cabinet and she pulled out the x-ray machine. So you just sit in the regular chair and do the x-ray there. They don't have like a separate x-ray thing, which is fine. But there's a big sign on this x-ray machine because I guess it was what separated, like that cabinet that it was in is what separated me from the person next door in that chair. So both so both seats would use that x-ray machine thing. Like the cabinet opened on both sides. But there was a big note plastered on this thing, wipe down when done. Do you know what she didn't do? She didn't wipe that down when she was done, which makes me think, does anybody wipe that down when they're done? Like, did she just touch something dirty and then that was like right next to my face? Like, that's gross. The one thing I'll say, I know their instruments were clean because I witnessed her opening them, but I don't know if the surface that they put them on was clean because normally they put them on like this metal tray thing. It's like on a stand with wheels. But they literally just put it like on the desk next to the computer. And like, I bet that computer keyboard doesn't get wiped down either. And like, the whole thing was just, I don't know. And they charged me $500. So I knew that it was going to have to be taken out. Most of the tooth was the filling, and half the tooth broke, and that's why the filling fell out. So I knew they're going to have to take it out. The most I've ever paid for an extraction is $210. They charged me $500, and half of that was because it was an emergency extraction, okay? Then when they went to numb me up, so I've had a lot of shots. I've had a lot of fillings. I've had, I had my I had my wisdom teeth taken out under just like the Novocaine, the local anesthetic. Like I didn't go under or like have surgery for that. They just pulled them out. So like I've had shots, okay? This man was the roughest with the shots, and it's the dentist doing it, not a hygienist or anybody. This man is the roughest with the shots. It was like he was in a terrible mood or something. And he literally was like poking me so hard with the shots. Normally they're real gentle, especially if they know you have an infection. Like they really try not to hurt you. No, this man did not care. Then when he put the shot in the palate in the roof of my mouth, which normally they do that, whatever. He shoved it all the way in to the point where it hit the root of the tooth he was going to pull out. And it caused such excruciating pain. And then, so then when I told him that like really, really hurt, again, I've had shots before. I've had tons of shots before. I've never, I don't typically have a problem with the shots. But he told me I was being a baby. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're a real baby with the shots, aren't you?" Like, are you kidding me? No, not usually. But usually they don't hit the root of the tooth that when they do it, and like my whole roof of my mouth, like literally like from here over all the way to my teeth, that whole roof of my mouth was swollen for hours. I've never had that before, where the roof of my mouth was swollen. I could not believe, like, I don't know if they just like had the wrong needles, because it felt like it was a way bigger needle than what they usually use. I could not believe it. I'm still in shock about that, really. So then they waited a few minutes, came back. I don't know if they just pretended to put numbing stuff or what, but I was not numb. I feel like they fucking tricked me, and they just like put the numbing gel, and then he did all these shots that didn't really have anything in it. Honestly, that's what I think, because it was no more numb than when just with that numbing, just with the numbing gel. It was no more numb than just the numbing gel. I'm not even kidding. My whole side of my face was not numb. Usually you feel like you have like fat lip and you can't really talk. No, none of that happened at all. It wasn't numb. It was not numb. And then so he started messing with my tooth. Oh my gosh, it was so painful. I thought I was gonna black out. I literally thought I was gonna black out. And I was like, "Oh, it's not numb yet. Like I can feel that definitely." And he was like, "Oh, this is just pressure." Like I've had extractions before. Again, I got my 4 wisdom teeth taken out while I was awake. And I have gotten 2 other teeth taken out. Okay. Normally I go to this place called Aspen Dental, and they're wonderful. They're amazing. Like they really were helping me to get over my fear of dentists. And if this had been my first extraction, I may never go to the dentist again. But I know this is like not how it's supposed to go. So I will go back to the dentist, but I need to like be more proactive and actually take care of my teeth and like go to the dentist before it gets this bad. Like I should have called my regular dentist on Friday so they could have got me in. But I didn't do that. So lesson learned for next time. Call the regular dentist as soon as something happens. And I'm definitely going to be setting up appointments to go to my regular dentist to get the rest of my teeth taken care of before they get that bad. Like within the next couple, like I'm going to make the appointments like today, because I can't have this happen again. Anyways, so I went, and again, was not dumb. No, was not dumb at all. And he just started messing with it. And I said that it hurt. And he was like, oh no, that's just pressure. That's just pressure. Tell me if you feel sharp pain. I'm on the verge of passing out. Like, I am like squeezing my legs as hard as I could. And I was like, that's sharp pain, dude. That's sharp pain. And he was like, no, it's not. And he just continued. And he literally just continued, ripped the tooth out of my head. And then he put stitches, which he had to put stitches because he literally like cut up my gums from his machine or whatever they use. I think it's called an elevator. I don't know. But he like, and I've never had that happen before either. It was just awful. It was so awful. Such an awful experience. Like, I feel like I should report them. And then, so then they said there was a lot of infection in my right here, which I obviously knew. So I already knew about the infection, obviously, because of this being all swollen. And so he he was like squeezing this down, sectioning it out with the thing after he got the tooth out, which is good. But then, so he asked me if I could take penicillin, and I said no, because I can't. And then he asked me if I could take a Z-Pack, and I said yeah, if that is okay with breastfeeding, because I am breastfeeding right now. And he said, oh yeah, it's fine. And then a couple minutes later, he's like, well, you don't actually need the antibiotic if you don't want it, because, the tooth is gone. It'll probably be okay. It probably will just go away on its own. Like, he's like, I squeezed the infection out already. It should be fine. And I was like, well, I think I really want the antibiotic, though, just in case, I don't normally take antibiotics. Like, I've been on antibiotics maybe 4 times in my whole life. I don't, maybe 6, because I did have 2 C-sections, and I think they give you antibiotics, like, right before that, just, like, as a precaution. But, like, I'm not someone who gets antibiotics a lot. I even stupidly didn't get antibiotics for strep throat once when I was 20 years old, because I thought, well, if I don't take the antibiotics, then my body will just fight it off on its own, and then I won't get it ever again. But I didn't realize, like, you could get something called rheumatic fever, or yeah, rheumatic fever, I think is what it's called. You can get that after doing that. And, like, my dad has had that because he didn't go to the doctor for strep throat before, which I only found out once I started caring for him. And so, yeah. I'm not someone who takes antibiotics all the time, but I did want it. So then I was going to the front, and I, paid. And then I was like, oh yeah, he said he would give me a prescription for a Z-Pack. And the dentist came up, and he was like, yeah, give her a prescription for the Z-Pack. And then she literally printed the prescription out, was about to hand it to me. And he took it, threw it away in front of me, and said, you know what? You don't need that. Just go home. Just watch it for a couple days. If after a couple days the swelling hasn't gone down, give us a call back, and we'll give you the antibiotic. But I don't think you should take the antibiotic while you're breastfeeding. Your baby's stomach might get upset, and there's just no reason for that. Do you guys see this? Do you see this? Do you see that? Can you see this? Can you see that? Yeah, I think I need the freaking antibiotic. So I'm waiting for my regular doctor to call me. Hopefully she will give me an antibiotic and I can just go pick it up. But yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that he refused to give me an antibiotic because I'm breastfeeding. Like, that's just ridiculous. Because I obviously need the antibiotic. Like, the infection is not just going to go away on its own. Like, yeah, he pushed a bunch of the pus out, but there's still microscopic things in there. There's probably not microscopic things in there that we just can't see because we can't see through my skin. You know, like, it's not like he scraped out inside of there or anything. Like, I don't know. So that's my thing. So this week I'm not working out. Probably I'm not supposed to because I have a hole and it's supposed to take it easy so that the blood clot doesn't come out. You know, I don't want to get dry socket. Gross. And then the only thing, I don't know, I'll probably lose weight this week because now the only thing I eat is soup for a while and I can't eat soup with dairy. So I'm just eating like chicken noodle soup, I guess. And yeah, and the other thing is like I feel sick today. I don't know if it's because I haven't started antibiotics for this yet and like my body is like not feeling well, but I'm feeling like I'm getting a cold like in my nose and like my throat is kind of sore. I kind of think is from that place because like I haven't been sick in over a year. Okay, have not been sick in over a year. I'm very careful about hand washing, very careful about hand sanitizing, very careful about touching things when I'm out. I try to keep my distance from other people and all of that, and it pays off. Like, I keep my distance, I use my hand sanitizer, I don't go around people that I know are going to be sick. If I'm in like a healthcare setting, I wear my mask still, mostly because it's required. Um, but I do, and I use hand sanitizer like crazy in places like that. And just in my everyday life, I try to wash my hands every hour or two, which I think you should. Like, I don't know what, like, why should you go like so much long without washing your hands? Like, I try not to use hand sanitizer every day, but I do wash my hands like at least every couple of hours, all day long. Every time I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands. Um, every time I'm cooking, like before I'm cooking, after touching any sort of raw meat, I wash my hands. Like usually after I touch any food, I wash my hands because like food residue, you know. I wash my hands a lot. After I got out of the dentist's office, like I use their hand sanitizer. Like I use hand sanitizer when I got to my car. Then we went somewhere, or yeah, we went to the mall after, like walk around because we were waiting for my son's karate to start. They didn't want to go home because we would just have to turn around and go right back. So we were walking around at the mall, like I washed my hands there. Like I try not to touch things if I'm very conscious about touching things. So I haven't been around anybody who's sick. And the only place that I went to that I don't normally go to that I think I could have gotten sick from is the dentist's office. And like I said, I witnessed her not wiping things down that had a note to wipe it down. So I think that they don't wipe things down. I don't think it was a clean place. He was wearing gloves, and I like watched him put the gloves on, so like that was good. But I don't know if he washed his hands like before he put the gloves on, and I don't know if the place where they put the instruments. I don't know if that was clean. I know the instruments were clean, but I don't know if the chair that I sat in was clean. Like I mean, like the floor and the walls and just everywhere was just dirty. Like it just seemed like a dirty place. I don't know. Okay, so that's my rant. So that's why I'm not really doing anything this week, is because of this. I'm trying to let this heal. And I guess I'll give you guys an update next week. But take care of your teeth. This is your sign. Take care of your teeth. Don't let this happen to you, because my goodness, this sucked. Like, this really sucked. Okay, bye.